Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Is Russia on a gold standard yet? Let's explore. You've heard me talk about, I've covered it multiple times on this channel, about Russia's intention. In fact, it is clear, it's been made official, at least from their side, that is their intent. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight, but it's moving closer in some aspects, but it may not actually happen. It just depends. First, let's talk about a bit of some news that has come across from Reuters, that Russia has been given credit to the Bank of Moscow license to export gold. Indeed. Credit Bank of Moscow, one of Russia's largest private lenders, has obtained a gold export license from the government. It said on Monday, becoming the latest Russian bank to turn to precious metals trade to offset the impact of sanctions. They're going to do whatever they can, for sure. Remember, Russia's economy is about the size of Italy's, or at least it was, probably a little smaller now is my guess. The main operators of the gold market in Russia and its largest vendors or lenders is Sberbank and VTB, have been hit with harsh Western sanctions imposed on Moscow after it sent tens of thousands of troops into Ukraine on the 24th of February this year. MKB has a dedicated focus on developing operations with precious metals. According to a statement, the bank has also been subject to sanctions in the United States, but it said that they were not blocking its activity. We are following major trends on the financial market and assessing prospects for the development of our business, including the precious metals business, it added. Russia is one of the world's largest producers of gold, along with Australia and China. Its 2021 gold production for mines rose by 1.7% to 314 tons, the finance ministry said. After the sanctions, Russia's gold miners and banks, which can still trade precious metals abroad, are searching for buyers as demand at home is unstable. The central bank, which used to be the main buyer of the Russian gold from commercial banks in previous years, has changed its rules for gold purchases several times since February 24th, including a short-lived decision to stop all buying. I've covered much of that on this channel. Demand for gold bars from Russians spiked in March after Moscow scrapped a 20% value-added tax on gold purchases, but it has since weakened as the ruble pared initial losses and became the world's best-performing currency due to the central bank's control measures. Indeed, so it's quite interesting indeed to see how this has played out. Now I'm going to be referencing a very interesting piece here from Gainesville Coins from Jan Neuenhaus. And this is quite interesting. Is the Russian ruble now linked to gold? So are they on this gold standard yet? Some gold commentators are writing the Central Bank of Russia has linked the ruble to gold, but this is not true. And he's exactly right. And now they have this intention on doing it, and the first step of it was what I had reported earlier about having a fixed ratio or a fixed exchange, 5,000 rubles to 1 gram of gold. In the fog of the war, the first casualty is the truth, and this time it's no different. Information coming from either side of the war between Russia and Ukraine about military, political, and financial developments should be treated with skepticism. And, case in point, this whole thing, the ghost of Kyiv was pretty much a fallacy, as well as the 13 who apparently died instead of surrendered. That was not true. That's on Ukrainian propaganda. And, of course, the Russian propaganda that the Ukraine is full of Nazis. Also not true. On March the 28th, the Central Bank of Russia announced it would buy gold from Russian credit institutions at a fixed price of 5,000 rubles per gram. At the time of the prevailing price in the free market was 6,000 rubles per gram. As CBR, Central Bank of Russia's bid price was lower than the free market price, it made no sense for banks to sell to the CBR. After an initial steep devaluation of the ruble when the war started on February 21st, it reversed course in early March. In Jan's view, this was because of the Gazprom Bank, one of the few Russian financial institutions not sanctioned. Incoming euro payments for gas are exchanged into rubles. Whatever the reason, the appreciating ruble caused the price of currencies and commodities, including gold, denominated in rubles, to decline. As a result, on April 7th, the gold price hit 5,000 rubles per gram. For a moment, it looked like the gold price was stabilizing, as if the CBR was buying up gold and holding the price of 5,000 rubles per gram. But then the CBR announced they would suspend buying gold at a fixed price from this press release. Due to a significant change in market conditions, the Bank of Russia is making adjustments to its pricing policy when carrying out operations to purchase gold from credit institutions. From April 8th, 2022, the purchase of gold by the Bank of Russia will be carried out at a negotiated price, another story that I covered at the time. The link was severed from the get-go. Several gold analysts, however, still report that the ruble is linked to gold, suggesting the Russians have gone into a semi-gold standard. Jim Rickards wrote on May the 3rd that Russia just linked the ruble to gold at a rate of 5,000 rubles to 1 gram of gold, but that was false. He knows because the CBR disclosed this on their website, but also because the ruble kept strengthening, the ruble gold price keeps falling. At the time of writing, the gold price was around 4,000 rubles per gram. How is that possible if the CBR is pegging gold at 5,000 rubles per gram? Obviously, the CBR has not linked the ruble to gold at a rate of 5,000 rubles to 1 gram of gold. Now we can see the flow, ruble gold gram per chart here. Pretty interesting indeed, and that's from the World Gold Council. If you don't believe that the gold price in the chart above, because it could be calculated by the World Gold Council based off an inaccurate foreign exchange rate of the ruble, have a look below at the prices of Russian gold dealer Sberbank. On May 11th, clients could buy gold at 4,567 rubles per gram and sell at 3,709 rubles per gram. The mid-market price was 41.38 rubles per gram, in line with the price at the World Gold Council. So there you can see that information there, showing the good research by Jan for sure. Does this mean that Russia will not return to a gold standard? Not now, they won't. But there was a statement coming from the Kremlin about backing the ruble with gold and commodities. On April the 26th, it was refuted by the CBR 3 days later. Suggest we wait for strong evidence before concluding a link between ruble and gold. Although I covered in another news story that it was from the banking minister, I guess that would be from the Kremlin, that was their intention to move to that gold standard, but apparently it was refuted. So another more good research. As Jan has written about extensively, he thinks that the world is heading towards some sort of gold standard. Interestingly, Credit Suisse's gold head of short-term interest rate strategy, Zoltan Pozsar, has been writing something similar since the outbreak of the war. Pozsar describes the ascent of a new international monetary order in which gold's role will be increased substantially. In a forthcoming article, they'll zoom in on that analysis of the future of gold. And the new international monetary order, I believe, is more along the lines of what they're talking about from the World Economic Forum with Klaus Schwab and Prince Charles. And they want to tie everything to a blockchain or ESG, environmental social governance, that they can control with the IMF, this globalist thing, and that could be this new international monetary order. And but gold, I don't think is going to be a part of that, or if it is, it's going to be very, very much a a nod to it. But they won't be restrained by gold, not by any stretch. They want to do what they do with even though they may use the auspices of gold as a result, but nonetheless, there is where that lies. So I believe that this article is correct, especially after what we had seen before. What I did not know is the contradiction between the Kremlin and the Central Bank of Russia. But we shall see. It's pretty interesting. And, things like this, we have to see how it all plays out. Because, you think about it, Russia probably doesn't want to be constrained by gold either. Whatever they want to do in country to get troops and to pay their soldiers and the like, if they have a strong ruble, stronger or strengthening compared to where it was at the beginning of the war, and they're still getting money from the Europeans for oil, and they only pay in rubles, why would they go to a gold standard? Why would they constrain themselves? I think they would only do that if the ruble was seriously in a lot of trouble. But interesting indeed. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Hope you found this video useful and insightful. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.